Outage, you have a generator and you want to install an electric panel, a second electric panel, so that way you can switch between the power from the main company and from the electric generator. I'm going to show you step by step how you can do that. Before I start, I'm going to tell you a little bit of theories, so that way it will be easier for you to understand everything that you have to do and everything that is involved, and also if you have to choose maybe electric panels, different electric panels, also different electric generators and everything that is related. So here I have a few slides that we're going to start talking about everything. So let's start with the first one. So basically, when you buy the electric generator, you have few options. As you can see here, you have the option that is gas. That will be the cheapest one, or you can buy the one that is gas with natural gas, so gasoline and natural gas, so both. And you have the diesel. Also, you have the one that are more like commercial ones, that are big ones, that they are stationaries, and you have the other ones that are portable, that you can move around anywhere. So let's talk about those. So I'm going to go here, so that way you can see. So basically you have a gasoline and a gas. Most of the people are going to choose one of those or both. So if you're going to get the one that is gasoline, it's more difficult because I mean, it's more economical, but you will have to start the electric generator at least once a month. That is what I recommend. I mean, yeah, maybe you can make extended a little bit longer, but I would recommend at least once a month, at least 15 minutes, half an hour, so that way everything is good. Also, every 6 months or once a year, you will have to replace the oil, so you have to do an oil change and a few other things. Check the air filter and everything that the manual requires for the electric generator that you're going to buy. And you have another option that is going to be gas, with natural gas. So you can buy, or you can use the one that use propane. So depends the one that you want to choose is better for you or not. So depend which one you want to choose, or you can use something that you can use both. The thing is with gasoline, the problem that you're going to have is, like I said, is more maintenance. You have to use you have to start it at least once a month, and also you will have to have some type of stabilizer in the tank, so the way the fuel will not get bad. Also, if you choose gas or propane, the good thing about that is that you don't have to worry about stabilizers or anything like that, or the fuel getting bad. It's going to last for many years. You're not going to have any of those issues. So if you can use natural gas, the better, because you can use the same gas that you have in your house. Otherwise, you have to buy like a propane gas, something to fill up the power up the generator. So basically those are the options that you're going to have. And the natural gas or the propane, it doesn't produce the same amount of calories, or it doesn't last as long, or the problem with the natural gas or propane is that the calories are lower than gasoline, so the performance is going to be less, a little bit less, not much less, but it's going to be less. Something that you have to know, that the same thing happens with cars. So in many places in the world, you're going to see that people, they put like a tank, a natural gas tank in their car to run their cars. But in this case, most people are here in US, they use just regular gasoline, but that is something that you have to know. And then let's talk about the connections, or the panels that you're going to have. I mean, you have mainly you have two options. You have the small one, that is the most economical one. So if you want to buy something like that, the small electric panel, it will be a secondary panel that you're going to add to the main panel that you have, or you can buy a big switch that it will switch from the power supply company and to the electric generator. The advantage with this is just one switch. You just switch it and that's it, or you can buy the ones that are automatic and you don't have to do any of that. Let's talk about the switches, for the electric panel. Basically you're going to have the little ones and the big ones. The big ones, you have the automatic, or you have the one that is with the handle. Usually those are more expensive, but you're going to power up the whole house. So you're going to feed up the whole house. That is great. So you don't have to worry. You are going to spend more because you're going to need a big generator. Here you're going to spend very little. It's easier to install, and it costs very little. The disadvantage is, you're going to be able to power up only few things, few circuits. Let's say, I don't know, if you buy a second electric panel, like 7 circuits, and that's it. And that is all you're going to be able to power up. So the thing is, I mean, there is no perfect solution. Always you're going to have like trade-off, or you spend a lot and then you have everything, or you spend very little and you're going to be happy with it because you spend little and at least the main things, you're going to be able to live with it. So let's say if you want the electric generator for your fridge, for your toaster, or maybe like a small Windows AC, or for the furnace, even if there is a big outage for weeks, because that is what happened with this customer. He had an outage for 1 or 2 weeks and all his food got bad, so he had to throw everything away. But by doing this, he is safe, and he has an alternative, a backup alternative, that if the main company fails, he has another option. And let's talk about these options that let's talk about the voltage, because this is something that important that you have to know when you're going to install this. So basically you're going to have the option, this first one, the small appliances, like toasters, maybe a blender, maybe a vacuum cleaner, or a TV, something like that, or refrigerator. That is what you're going to connect with the electric panel. So you can usually, with electric panel, it comes everything with one pole breaker. So one pole breaker means 110 volts, and if you have the 2-pole breaker, you're going to have the 220 volts. So the big 220 volts means big appliances. The big appliances are, for instance, the stove, maybe the AC for the whole house, the electric dryer, maybe you have to charge your Tesla, you're going to need a 220. So those are the things, the main things. So if you are going to choose the small electric panel, make sure that you're going to be satisfied with all your needs. Otherwise, you're going to need another solution. And if you're going to do this, because this is the video about installing the small electric panel, just choose wisely. So the essentials, let's say fridge, internet, router, cable modem, small Windows AC. Maybe if you have a gas furnace, you're going to be able to be warm in winter time. So basically those are the main options. And if you have something else you want to power up and you have a circuit remaining, you can do that. It depends of the electric generator. So you have to go to each appliance that you have and see in the back where it says watts, and try to adapt and do the math, adapt all the watts of every appliance that you have, and make sure that your generator is going to be able to power up everything. Make sure that you don't go 100% of the capacity of your electric generator. Maybe like 80% will be wise. Also make sure that the electric generator is running wattage, let's say 3,000 or 5,000. But also it will say in another place peak consumption. it will say maybe 9,000, but okay, peak is just maybe for 2 or 3 seconds, and then it goes back to 4,000 or 5,000, whatever you have. So basically, that is the thing that you have to do in order to make sure that you're not going to overload your electric generator, or the electric generator will turn off by itself, saying, okay, I cannot keep running because we have an overload or something like that. Okay, let's go to the other slide that I have. So here you're going to have the electric generator, like I said, if you want to run it with propane or maybe natural gas or gasoline. So this is the generator that you're going to have. And here you're going to have the outputs of the electric generator. So here you have 110, and here you're going to have a 220. So it depends whatever you want to do. So usually if you want to run just small appliances, 110 will do the trick. Otherwise, if you want to have 220 and 110, you can do it as well, but you will have to use the output that is 220. So usually here you're going to have the outputs. For instance, in this case with this electric generator, you have 240, 50 amps, and you have the other electric outlet that is 30 amps. So make sure that you choose wisely. And then for small things that you're not going to use it just for the electric panel. For this one, you're not going to use this. This is something else. Let's say you're next to the electric generator and you need to connect the weed eater or something else. Okay, you do that. But otherwise, the one that goes inside of the electric panel, you're going to choose one of those. Usually is that one. So here you're going to have the cable, the extension, as you can see here. Usually it comes with the kit when you buy everything. So I am in US. If you want me to send you something like that, anything, tools, electronics, or anything like that, just let me know. All my information in the video description. Otherwise, if you're here in US, I'll try to leave you the link so that way you can buy it yourself. Okay, so here we have the small kit with the electric panel. Like I said before, you're going to have the extension cord that goes from here to, this is the generator, the panel that you see here a little. So you're going to go from here to the electric outlet that you see here. That is the same one that you see here, that is going to be on the wall. And then after that, you will have to run a cable that goes from here, from this one to this one, that goes inside. So that is why I made the other slide, so the way you understand. So here you have the electric generator, goes to the electric outlet that I told you before, and then you make a hole in the brick. Here you have the wall, and then you connect it to this one, to this side that you see here. So that is the small electric panel. And from here, you're going to have cables, like a small conduit, flex conduit, that goes inside of the electric panel. And that's it. And then you're going to follow the instructions that I'm going to show you in the video. Otherwise, this is for this brand. If you have another brand, it might be a little bit different, maybe the color of the cables and everything, but every panel, it should come with its own manual. Otherwise, contact the manufacturer. Otherwise, call an electrician or someone who can do it for you. Otherwise, if I am in your area, call me and I can do it for you. So here, main thing, the electricity can kill you. So make sure that you feel comfortable doing this type of job. Otherwise, call a professional like me or someone else, so that way they can do the job for you. So if you touch this terminal that you have here, you're going to have 220 from the electric company, and you're going to die. So make sure that you don't touch those. Also, if you're going to touch any of these, you're going to have this main breaker. Usually you should have that if your panel is not very old, and turn it off, and so that way you're going to be free of risk, or your risk is going to be less, because all these breakers that you have here, they're not going to be energized. So basically that is how it works. And also you're going to have to use the breakers that you have here. So here I have a big breaker. So here you have a few the connections. Like I said, if you have a 2-pole, it's 220. If it's 1 pole like that, it's going to be only 110. and this is how it works. So basically you have also besides the breakers that you have here, you're going to have them here as well in the secondary electric panel. So basically those are the breakers, and here the big breaker or the big switch that you see here. I'll see if I can make it bigger. Okay, so basically here in the first, if you move it up, I know the quality is not very good, but if you move it up, if the switch, you are going to have the generator in the middle is going to be off, and here in the on the bottom is going to be the line that comes from the provider. So basically that is how it works. And here on the top, it will tell you the amperage, the consumption that you're going to have. Also, some electric generators, you're going to have the power consumption here as well. So if you want to have something extra, make sure that you choose the right electric generator with all the features that you want. So basically, here you're going to have the cables that you see here. You're going to have to connect them to the breakers that you see here, and the cables that you have here in the breakers, they will go to the other cables. So basically here you have, for instance, cables that says A, B, C, D, and so on. So basically you're going to have two cables, two A's. So you're going to grab one cable that comes from here. You're going to connect it to the cable that says A, and then the other cable that says A, you're going to connect it back to the breaker. So that is how it works. So just read the instructions. It's very self-explanatory. So you do that with each one of them, and that's it. And then you're going to have the controller over here. Also, you will have to run a line from this electric outlet that is outside to the electric panel here, so that way you can power up all the with the electricity that comes from the electric generator. That's it. So basically that is how it works. I'm going to show you step by step in the video in the practice, so that way you know how to do it. Hopefully this is useful, and now let's start with the practice. We're going to start connecting the electric outlet, the generator, and the electric panel that we have over there. Everything, so that way if they lose the power, they can turn this on, and that's it. Here we have the electric panel, so we're going to try to install it there, and we're going to make a hole so that way we can go through the other side and connect everything outside. So, okay, as you can see, we made the hole, so let's go to the other side, see how everything looks like. In a very good spot. Okay, finally I made it. Hole in the other side. So you have to, it will make your life easier. Two of those. Bueno, okay, as you can see, we have the hole. So we'll be installing the other panel here. And we'll have to install the cable that is a service cable that goes from there to here, the same way that you have this. So that way you can connect the inlet with the electric panel here. As you can see here, if you put it, this is the electric panel, and if you put it up, you get the generator in the middle off, and down is line. So here you have the regular breakers as usual, and here you have the power meters. Right. Now we're going to open the panel. So we got all the connections. We have some room to try to make the hole over there and make it work. Here you have few options. One, you can use also, or maybe you can use a step bit in order to make the right side for the connector. we're going to cut it here where I made the mark, and we should be good. Here I'm going to use a cut-off wheel. It works very well. I mean, it's rigid. I use it very often for this type of small stuff. Here you have to run the cables inside the flex conduit. Make sure that nothing gets damaged. Now we're going to run this conduit here. That should be good. The ring for the other side, you have to put it inside so that way you protect the cable from any damage. There we go. Now we're going to put the nut. Now we have everything. Now we have to start connecting things. As you can see, usually I don't have to use any of these, but I push many times and I try to take the knockout out, and it wasn't working, so I used the step bit in order to do that, and it worked. Now I have to file it so the way it will look nice and it will not be sharp. As you can see, I have this tool. It will take care of the sharpness. As you can see, all the sharpness is gone, so now we should be good to put this. We're going to put this in the other side, otherwise it's going to be more difficult to tie up the cable later. So here, we should be good now. As you can see, we're going to put it just above this and at this height. Now we should be good. So we're doing the marks now, and we should make the holes, and we should be good. Now we're going to use the hammer drill, and everything should go faster. Now we're going to hit the anchors, and we should be good. Alright, as you can see, I'm going to connect these. I have to take this because at least in the place where it is right now is kind of difficult to make it fit here, so I think that will be easier. So take it out, put it back in, and that's it. Here I'm using a flex conduit anyway because the cable is waterproof, but you have an extra protection, so that is why I'm doing this. I prefer to spend maybe a little bit more, but be 100% that it's going to last for a very long time. Now we're going to strip the cables, and we are going to put the connection here, so the ground goes there. We're going to put the red one here. We're going to put the black one here. The white one goes there. Have to tighten it a little bit. Alright, we have almost everything, so now we're going to connect the ground. That should go here. Now it's firm and tight, and we should be good here. Alright, we have to tighten this up for some reason. We can lose. Alright, as you can see, I'm pulling each one of them and we are good. A little bit more, just in case. Alright, as you can see, all we have to do is put the box back and that's it. I was able to put it, but I have to make some space, otherwise it won't fit. So I have to unscrew it a little bit, and now I have the screw here, so everything is good, as you can see. Now we can connect the extension cord. Now we have to fill up this hole with the foam, so that way no insects or anything like that will go inside. Those are not my holes, but anyway, I'm here. Alright, as you can see, I put the flex conduit. I'm going to run the cable through this, and then I'm going to connect it to wherever it has to go. As you can see, we run the conduit here, we put the hook here, and then we're going to run this over there. Alright, so here in this case, I'm trying to remove the knockouts, but sometimes it's very difficult. If you see, I'm trying to hit it. Sometimes, like I use on the others in the other electric outlet, I had to use the step bit in order to remove that. So if you have to do that, do that. Step bit is, I think, is one of the best solutions. Here I'm going to cut the cable. I'm using the cut-off wheel as I did before. Here I'm using the knife, my Victorinox. Make sure that you don't damage the cable, and then you cut the sheathing, as you can see over there. And then we have to strip just the end of the cable. Don't strip them too much, so that way we can do a nice connection and you don't have anything, no copper is going to be exposed or anything like that. So I have these little pliers. It's very good, at least for regular cables. You can strip it right away. Otherwise, if the cable is too big, you can use the lower part where you can use to cut the cable, or just to strip it, as you can see. But make sure that you don't nick the copper, otherwise it will weaken the copper. When you have a lot of power, you could use something like that, but I had the experience that it melts over time. So if you use something like that, it will last for a very long time. You're not going to have any issue. I'm going to show you. It's firm and tight, so everything good. So now we can tape that up. This is a fusion tape. Now you have to peel it off, and then you have to wrap this up. You have to stretch it in order to be effective. So now you're stretching it, as you can see, and it's coming along. Usually these last longer than the regular electric tape. Leave it like that, few hours, and you should be good. So now I have to tape up the other one. All right. Now we're going to connect the ground with the rest of the neutral bar that you have here. If you have the sub panel, you may have two different ones, one for the neutral and the other for the ground, but in this case you have everything in one. What I'm doing here is what the manufacturer recommends. So this is, if you see their video tutorials, that is how they say to connect everything. As you can see, everything is looking great. Now we have to organize everything and we should go. So to hook up this is very easy. Like I said, red with red, white with white, black with black. So now let's start with this. So for instance, here I have F, as you can see here, F here. I just write it down. And if you need something to write down is white, this works great. So I am in US. If you need any tool, just let me know. I can send it to you. Otherwise, buy it with the link that I'm going to leave you. So basically, you have to find the cables. So as you can see, I don't know if you are going to be able to see it, but here in the cable it says a letter. So for instance, this is F, and here it says F, very little. I don't like that. It should be, labeled something this size or something like that. Otherwise, it's a pain in the butt. So basically, this is how it works. So once you know the cable F and F, so you unhook the cable that is like that. It's all black. So you unhook it from here, and then you put the red one, and the cable that you unhook, you hook it up like this with the black one. Black with black, the red goes in the breaker. So basically that is how you do it with each one of them, and you should be good. And the thickest one, I don't know if you can see here it says A. So as you can see, the first one, that is how you can tell which one is which. So the first two are 220 and the rest are 110. So that is how it works. Here, remember to use a screwdriver that is insulated or the impact driver. So here we are going to remove the cable, the wire that is in the breaker. So we're going to connect black with black. So the black one that you see over there, we're going to take it out and we're going to use the wire nut. So that way it will be together and we'll complete the connection, the circuit in this case. As you can see, make sure that you don't have anything exposed. And then after that, the other cable, the other wire that you have here, the red one, you have to put it where you have the breaker. That's it. Make sure that you don't touch any other cable. You don't want to get electrocuted. Use gloves if you're not sure, or otherwise call an electrician. Just make sure that everything is very tight and you should be good. So basically that is how you have to do the same thing with every one of them. So in this case, let's use the microwave. Okay, so now you spin it with the wire nut, and then the other cable goes. We have to go here on the breaker. And there you go. So that is how you have to do each one of them. Very easy. This is how it looks like. So we have to organize everything. I have to put the cover back on, and if you want to turn off the breakers that you don't want power for anything, you should put it on off. But if you want to run these breakers in the generator, you just move it up like that, and that's it. So if you want to make sure that everything runs from the power line, power supply from, in this case, Duke Energy, you put it in line, or if you want a generator, you should put it in generator, and that's it. That is all you have to do. Just as you can see, we have it connected in the generator. We have the line that goes all the way over there, and that's it. And you have the light here when you have power in the electric outlet. So very easy. And this one is it runs on gas and runs on gasoline. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any question, please let me know. All my information in the video description. See you next time.